it working now? Apologies. I had to leave and actually check my router to make sure it was on. Because my Wi-Fi just completely crashed. That is so annoying. Gonna wait to see if people are coming back in. Jeez. Alright. My router seemed fine and like it was working, so I don't know why my Wi-Fi just completely crashed. Like my Wi-Fi, like it just said that my Wi-Fi wasn't like on anymore basically, and then I had no connection. Which is really annoying. Alright. We're gonna snooze that ad break since I just got back and it just started working again. But holy shit, that was annoying. That's right, there aren't any trees left. Aha. We have to have 450 for the house upgrade, which we do need because I need to cook an egg for the community center. And also, if I want to get married to Sebastian, I need it to be upgraded. At least once. So I wouldn't be getting your hopes up if you like children in Stardew Valley. I never have them. I think I had them once for an achievement and I got rid of them. I was just like, no. Here, I'm gonna get rid of these, like, really annoying rocks on the farm here. Actually, you know, you'd be surprised, but winter is a pretty profitable month because I make winter wild seeds. And they cost, like, no money to make. But if you make enough of them, you can make a whole load off of them. You can make kegs and you can make, crystal fruit wine, which is decently profitable. So if you're ever wondering what you should be doing in Stardew Valley because you can't plant anything, you actually can plant something. You can plant winter wild seeds and you can cover your entire farm in them. It stacks up really fast. Because when you get your first harvest of them, it's just more forageables that you can then turn into more winter wild seeds. And you can just keep that going for however long you want. You can save a bunch of them for the year after. So you can, like, start the year off with, like, a shit ton. That's usually what I do. It's really good, actually. So winter can be a very profitable year. And in year one, winter is actually usually my most profited year. Because I usually have everything built and I don't have to pay for seeds. So, fun Stardew Valley tip from the Dusty Boy. If anyone cares. A lot of the people that watch, seem like they aren't, like, the biggest, people who actually play Stardew Valley. They just like watching people play it. Level up on combat. Alright. How much does a rabbit cost for Stardew Valley? I think rabbits are kind of expensive. Yeah, 8,000 gold. Dink. But it's Sunday, which means we can give Sebastian a gift, which will probably put him to 8 hearts. Corn! Please have 5 gold. Damn it. 2. Corn regrows, so that's still not bad. But it does mean that we can grab all of this and donate it. Pig grown up yet? Yes, it is! Grown up pig and everything? Alright. Grab a frozen tear for Sebastian. How's our duck doing? Where's the other chicken? Where's my other chicken? What? Where's my other chicken? It says I still have Eggy. I just don't know where he is. Alright, Eggy apparently bolted out the door real quick, so I don't know where he is. But hopefully he's okay. Because I think they're just no longer on the list if they get killed in the night. And I also didn't hear a wolf noise indicating that he was killed in the night. But that's a little scary. Anyway, let's go here. I'm also gonna check the boiler room to see what we have to donate there still. Okay. Little bee house. That's right, we need a duck egg, and we need more gold corn. It started! Hi, Autumn! How are you? Oh, that's right, this is already done. Alright, cool. Let's go give this frozen tear to Sebastian. Hopefully that'll put me at 8 hearts, and then I can buy a bouquet and we can start dating. Lurkin. That seems to be common today. A lot of people are like, I can only lurk today. It's a lurk type of day. Apparently everyone's very busy this Sunday. True love bloom. Come on, Sebastian. My coop is almost fully upgraded, which means the only thing I have left to upgrade for the community center is my house. Yes! Haha. Time to go see if I can buy it before I get a letter saying that I can. Because I have managed to marry him and finish the community center year 1 before. It required making a rain totem to do it, but I did it. Pierre, I now have 8 hearts with someone. Please give me a bouquet. Do I still have to wait? No. Yes. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Sebastian! I have something for you. Do 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 do. Finally. What I have been waiting for the whole game. Every time I start a new file. I mean, that's not uncommon for people who are like 21, 22 years old, especially living in a small town. If you're like 22 years old and you're like, I've never really been in a relationship before, it's like, yeah, maybe because like, I don't know, like 10% of the town is directly related to you. Like, you don't have a great many options. Boy wife gaming. That's me. I boy wife. It's true though, I love cooking and cleaning. Like, if I could just, like, if I was in a financial situation where, with a partner, where I could just be a stay-at-home boy wife, I totally would do it. Alright, Pig, have you found any truffle around the farm that I can pick up? Because that would be great. I know that they have more of a chance to produce, aha! Yes, yes, yes! I heard him. He dug up something. Yes! And I got 2! Yes! Success! This was a productive day. Alright. For the rest of the day, I will be going fishing. Because all we need now is 18,000 gold. We need to get a bunny, and we need to upgrade the house. And then that's it for upgrades, and then I just need to donate a bunch of money to the community center, and then that's it. Where's my sea jelly? There we go. Doing so well. Fall is usually when, like, the progress, like, really ramps up in terms of, like, speed. Because fall is when you have cranberries and all that. Fall is usually this, like, around the time that I see people get pigs. I think I got mine in summer, but it took a while for it to grow up. Like, this is when people start really making progress. Also, fall has the best events. It's the best season in Stardew Valley. Also, congrats, Autumn. You missed, like, the 3 times that my stream crashed. Of course it had to crash when I had, like, 11 viewers. Like, it's always when, like, you have, like, the most viewers you've ever had. That's when it breaks. I had 3 in a row. It was really annoying. I was like at peak viewership and then crash. Yeah, I've been streaming for close to 2 hours now. It's just the game fucking... not the game, the Wi-Fi just like had a panic attack and buzzed off for a second. It says my bitrate is amazing now, but like... it was really touch and go there for a minute. I can't connect directly via Ethernet. There's no Ethernet port in my room. Hi! How is your manager making you do work? If I could be directly connected to Ethernet, trust me, I would. But there's no port in my room, and there's not even one, like, near my room. So much fun. The stream is now stable. As soon as I say that, it's not gonna crash, but you know. What? I hate it when it does it. But everything seems to have stabilized. Yeah, with cats, the cats I'm not worried about. I'm worried about the fucking hurricane of a dog we have in the house that would absolutely like trip on it and pull the whole fucking router and break it. Like, my cats honestly do not attack wires that much. The dog, though, like, just runs around chasing the cats and, like, bothering them and would totally, like, pull the Ethernet cable and the router at the same time. So it'd be like, oh, what happened? If your Ethernet got disconnected, you should have, like, gone to Wi-Fi. And it's like, I should have, except for he also destroyed the router. So we'll have to get that fixed. We'll see if I'm able to stream for the next week. The ceiling. I don't think my mom would appreciate there being a cable running across the ceiling. It's not a particularly low ceiling either. Actually, speaking of my mom, she just texted me if cinnamon roll or kuromi is my favorite. And that seems like an important question with my 21st birthday coming up, so I'm gonna real quick. Even though she's probably gonna have to pay for the bulk of my tubal ligation surgery. I don't... in the way that the house is set up, there is no possible way that it could just be in, like, the corner. It would have to wrap around, if it was just like staying around the corners, it would have to wrap around like the entirety of the kitchen and then go around the whole living room and then come down. Cinnamon roll, yeah. I like kuromi a lot. Cinnamon roll's my favorite. Which is a very basic bitch choice, but I don't care. There are like more niche, like, characters that I like more, but in terms of, like, the main ones that you can actually find, it's cinnamon roll. I mean, his name is Cinnamon Roll. How could you not like him? He's literally just a little guy. And cinnamon rolls are delicious. I know, I need to find you a Wish Me Well Mel plush. Wish Me Mel just isn't as popular. I have Wish Me Mel stickers that I will totally give to you. I'll like stick them on your phone case or something while you're not looking. Maybe not 800. I could probably find like a little keychain or something that's a plushie. That would be like 20. Or 20 to 30. If it was like a full-size plushie that's like a retro one, yeah, then it might be $800. But I could probably find something. Just for the summer mood. I do that too. Band-aids are useful, look. Like, band-aids are always useful to have. If you won't use them all, then you take them with you, and somebody else could probably use some of them eventually. you know. See, I'll bring cute band-aids with me when I visit you. By the way, Autumn is the friend I'm visiting. And I'll bring cute band-aids that you can stick on your ass. I have to get needles in my ass too for birth control. And they don't have cute band-aids at my doctor's office, and it's quite the shame. It's not my ass, it's my thigh. Still, that's a prime piece of real estate on your body. If you want to have a band-aid, you want it to be a cute one. Am I wrong? That's my front ass. It's my front ass, thank you very much. That's scarier. Yeah, I know. Although I will say, if you put it in like the side of your thigh, it probably won't hurt when you sit down. Although I don't know if E-shots are like intramuscular. I know that my birth control shot is intramuscular, and then it kind of hurts to sit on my ass for a bit. And sometimes it's worse than usual because my doctor tells the nurses, they're like, hey, you're not supposed, don't put the needle all the way in because that's a fucking skinny bitch and the needle is kind of too long for me. But they don't always listen. And even when I remind them, like, hey, you're not supposed to use the entire needle, like, I'm sure you can feel once it's, like, hit the muscle, the entire needle is too long for me. Stomach scares me. Don't like that. That's scary. That's where your bile duct is, and like your like where food is digested. Stomach, no, I don't like that. That's terrifying. Yeah, stomach is terrifying. I don't know why you would ever choose that. Like, if ass and thigh are one you can choose, why would you ever go stomach? You know, like, that's just, that seems like a bad decision. Actually, we can throw that out. I'm gonna start saving those. You grab a hunk of it. Have you seen my stomach? I don't have a hunk of it to grab. I don't have, like, a very grabbable stomach, okay? Most of what you can grab on my stomach is actually just skin. Because I have crazy stretchy skin. So you know when people do the thing where they, like, pinch their stomach to check how much, like, fat they have? You can't really do that on me because my skin is so insanely stretchy that it's not, like, a good way to judge it. So for me, it's like, it's just my loose skin, thin layer of fat, thin layer of muscle, organs. And there's a lot of organs in your, like, abdominal stomach-y area that if you, like, puncture those, it could be real bad. Like, clipping, like, your Gumby-looking motherfucker. It's true! I need to post a picture of it at some point. But, like, I don't know if anyone's seen, like, my wrists. Yes, another one. I don't know if anyone's ever seen my wrists. But they are bone fucking skinny, and yet if I grab the skin, it still lifts up like a good, like, inch or so. Because that is how stretchy my skin is. I got, like, slingshot ass skin. It is, like, a big problem, though, if you're, like, have an eating disorder and you're afraid of, like, gaining fat. I can't check, like, my stomach that way to tell because most of it is just skin. Then you see posts where it's like, if you can grab this much, then you have too much fat in your stomach. I'm like, it's skin! I'm like, it's just skin for me. I have very stretchy skin. I'm like, I can't grab that much more that I can grab on my wrist, which, like, if I hit my wrist on something, it just, like, boy, I wish it did. It's like a very immediate snap back. It's like a rubber band, just like snap. But like, I'm like, if I hit my wrist, it goes straight to like the bone. Like if I get a bruise on my wrist, it hurts for like weeks because it's just straight bone. Yeah, I can still grab like so much skin. Jello, like when you grab like a metal sheet and move it, like that noise. I have elastic skin is what it's called. And yeah, it's a little annoying. Cause like that is a thing people will tell you, like, oh, if you want to determine if you have like a good like fat ratio on your stomach to like protect like, you know, your organs and junk, you should be checking how much you can grab. I can't do that. That is not a good metric for me. Like that is in fact a terrible metric for me. Look at all these dress spinners that I've literally just gotten from fishing. From nothing else. We're late as hell. Hi, Aether. How are you? Don't worry, you missed the stream breaking. You missed that fun. Scott, it is not my fault if the Wi-Fi breaks. I have no control over that. There you are, Eggy. You gave me a heart attack this morning because I couldn't find you. Also, we have a duck now. Its name is Quacker Oat. That was my original idea because at the time when I bought the duck, the chat was pretty dead. So I was like, well, I guess I'm thinking of something. So now we have Soot Sprite, Ollie, Eggy, Pot Roast Cocoa, Quacker Oat, Frizz Bizbo, and a Taxi. Here's something about, yes. I was talking about how the thing where people are like, you should pinch your stomach to see if you have like a good like fat ratio to like protect your organs doesn't work on me because my skin is so stretchy that just doing that, most of what I'm grabbing is just my skin stretching out because I have very elastic skin because I have something called Ehlers-Danlos. Or, well, I will officially have it on the 28th when I actually get to go to a specialist who is allowed to diagnose me with EDS. And it's going to be a 4 to 6 hour appointment. And also, funner news, I have to get cavities filled in on the 25th. And I also have, like, therapy on Monday. So this month, I will have had fucking 8 doctor's appointments. 8 fucking doctor's appointments in 1 month. 2 therapy appointments, a dermatologist thing, what the? Did Eggy lay a fucking egg outside? What? Okay. A dermatologist appointment, like a heart doctor appointment. A gynecologist appointment. I've had so many appointments. And I don't know if you saw that I posted on Twitter about it, but I went from 4 years straight of having no cavities. Just basically telling them that my gums look a little irritated and that's it. To having 13. A couple of them are ones that don't need to get operated on because they're like stage like 3 or 4, which means that they're just like weak spots and they could get better. Like my teeth could heal from those. But like 7 of them are like stage like 1 or 2, like priority 1 or 2, which means they need to get fixed like now. I'm really mad about it. No, I think what happened is part of EDS, it's a very common thing in EDS, that we have pretty weak enamel. And I think what happened is I didn't check if the toothpaste I was using could hurt my enamel because it's fucking toothpaste. You don't assume that toothpaste can hurt your teeth, but I was using whitening toothpaste because it was on sale at Costco and I was like, sick, I'll get 6 fucking tubes of toothpaste at once and not have to re-up for like a year. However, a lot of whitening toothpaste are grittier and have like a polishing effect to help with the whitening. But if your enamel is really fucked and already weak because you're disabled or something, like me, it can really damage your enamel. So use it, because that was basically the only thing that changed between like my 6-month visits. Before I had none, and they said that my gums had like some very light gingivitis and I needed to make sure to like brush on my gum line a little bit more. And then the only thing that changed was I started using a different toothpaste that was whitening. And it fucked my shit up. Like, just royally screwed me over. And I was like, great. I posted about it on Twitter and I basically said, hey, if you know that you have weak enamel, don't use whitening toothpaste. It could really fuck up your teeth. Also, look at my money right now. 6660. That's a good number. I'm really mad about it. Because, like, my like, brushing habit changed, like, a little bit. Because I got out of the habit of it, like, a little bit from getting my tonsils out. I couldn't brush my teeth for, like, 3 weeks, essentially. But I didn't stop brushing entirely. Like, I didn't start brushing, like, just not brushing at all. So now I have all these cavities that I need to get filled. And I'm also really nervous because I'm like, if the place calls to schedule my tubal litigation surgery while they are dealing with my cavities, I'm going to be so mad. Because I have been waiting for that for 2 weeks. I've been waiting for that call. And it means that I have to get cavities filled, which is terrible because another thing about EDS is that lidocaine doesn't work on you. It doesn't work. It's not even like a thing where, like, with redheads, they're like, oh, it doesn't work as good on me. No, it just doesn't work. You could put 10 needles of the shit in my gums, and after 10 minutes, I would be completely feeling everything again. It's really annoying. It's like, ugh, it's just a pain in my butt. Checking everything. All right, wine. We have a keg. It's currently still working. Okay. Okay, we have that. We'll get duck feathers soon. That's in winter. Okay, cool. So I have to go get a bunch of them filled, and I have to do laughing gas every single time. Because it's the best I can do for pain management. It's basically the only thing I can do, so I have to get laughing gas, and insurance never covers it because I'm not officially diagnosed with EDS, so we can't be like, hey, I have EDS. Lidocaine doesn't work. I mean, it's not like that much more expensive. It's like $50 or $100, which is still a lot, but like it's not the worst thing in the world. Lidocaine nor doesn't work at all. I think Novocaine might, but they don't use Novocaine anymore. They used to, but then they're like, oh, but it lasts too long because it's too strong. And I'm like, I might fucking need it to be that strong. Because lidocaine and Novocaine are different. Lidocaine just doesn't work on me at all. And by the way, I had to go through sinus surgery. It might be a regional thing, but where I am, most dentists don't have Novocaine on hand because it's really strong, so you get left feeling like numb for the rest of the day. So they don't use it because they're like, lidocaine is strong enough for most people, and then it wears off a lot faster. So you just get your cavities filled, and then you're good for the rest of the day, and you're not numb. But like, no, I don't even know if Novocaine would work either. Yeah, see, lidocaine wears off faster, so they were like, we'll use that instead here. But I don't know if Novocaine would work either. All I know is that lidocaine doesn't, and I actually had to go through sinus surgery with no pain management except for lidocaine, even though I told them multiple times, lidocaine does not work on me. You cannot use lidocaine. I will feel everything. But they didn't listen. And the most annoying part was that the nurse, who was male, because it's a lot of like male doctors do not believe like female people's pain. The entire time, even though it was fucking clear that the lidocaine didn't work and the pain meds they gave me were not effective either, like I warned them they wouldn't be, the entire time kept saying, oh, you should only feel pressure. You'll only feel a little bit of pressure. I'm like, you are a liar. I have been sitting here like crying, like destroying a stress ball out of pain this entire time. Like, stop telling me like, oh, you'll only feel a little bit of pressure. You're a liar. And you're not paying attention, evidently. Like, shut up. Like, my doctor was great, and she was like, you did so amazing, I'm so sorry, like, that the lidocaine didn't work. And I'm like, I told you it wouldn't. But at least she apologized. The other guy was just like, it'll be fine, it'll only be pressure. I'm like, we've been doing this for like 2 hours. Not 2 hours, we've been doing this for the past 20 minutes. And you didn't realize, and you still kept saying you'll only feel pressure. Like, come on, man, stop fucking saying that. I wanted to, like, punch him because I was so mad. I was like, are you serious? You have been sitting here, basically doing nothing, watching me be in pain this entire time, while you're cutting open pieces of my nose. And you still have the fucking gall to stand there and say I won't feel anything? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's just... It was awful. So yeah, I have to go... Like, I didn't have laughing gas for the nose one, because A, a lot of, like, small surgery centers for, like, minor stuff don't have it. That's usually just a dentist thing. But, like, you also can't use it because they were operating on my nose. So you can't use laughing gas if you're trying to operate on someone's nose. Like, they gave me Oxy, which I also told them, like, that didn't really work very well for, like, my post, tonsillectomy. Like, didn't really do much for the pain then. Gave it to me, said it'll be fine. They were a load of liars, because it was not fine. I'm trying to see if can I get 700? I could sell 1 diamond. I think I'm gonna do that because I really want to get a rabbit as soon as possible, because it can take a while to get rabbit's feet from them, and I need one for the bundle. But yeah, I'm like, it was like one of the worst things ever, and it was just made worse by the fact that this fucking nurse was like talking down to me and like being like, oh, well, it's not that bad. I'm like, bitch, it is that bad. How about you lay here with no pain meds and I'll stab you in the nose a bunch. See how you feel. Because I'll tell you what, it won't feel great. So yeah, I have to go get cavities filled. I have to get like a few filled too. I think I need to get like 4 at once filled, which means I have to sit there listening to that drill sound go on for hours as well. Because I hate the drill sound. It's so annoying. Well, I can't sell that. I think I have to go to Clint's to sell that. Like, because you can't just wear headphones to not hear the drill. It's in your mouth. You're gonna hear it no matter what. So I'm gonna have to be there for like an hour and a half at least, listening to a drill. And it's all because I used a stupid whitening toothpaste. And I didn't look up, hey, can this damage your teeth? Because it's a toothpaste, you wouldn't think it would hurt your teeth. Hi, Wandering Panda. Well, it's a big issue in the medical industry, especially with like male doctors. They don't take the pain of women seriously at all. Like, somebody posted about how they got a colonectomy done, and they were given no pain meds. Whereas, like, if that's done on men, a lot of times they are knocked out for the procedure. But this woman went through it, and, like, their doctor was a male, and they just were like, you'll be fine. Because they just kind of believe that women are making it up. They're like, oh, women are too dramatic. They don't need pain meds. Yes, they do. It actually hurts. But they just believe that, like, if a man is like, ow, this hurts a lot, they believe them. Like, a lot of women go to the hospital and they actually get sent home while having a heart attack because they don't believe them that they're having a heart attack. They're just like, oh, I'm sure it's fine, you'll be okay, and then they go home and they die from having a heart attack. Because women heart attacks also present differently than male ones, and they just don't believe the pain that they're feeling. It's a big issue. It's especially bad if you're a woman of color, because doctors also believe that black people feel less intense pain for some fucking reason. Like, it took a while for my dentist to be like, oh, this actually doesn't work on you. I'm like, yeah. Now they believe me, because they've been seeing me for a while. And, like, they haven't had to fill that many cavities, but I have this one filling on my front tooth that likes to pop out a shit ton, and they keep having to replace it. I know. It's like, well, but they're different, so they don't feel pain the same. It's like, yeah, they do, though. Like, they really do, bud. Like, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're a shit doctor. Like, if you think women are being dramatic about their pain, or you think, like, people of color don't feel pain as intensely, you are a terrible doctor. If you're a white guy, though, like, and you go in for any surgery, they will send you home with opioids without question. They should know it's not true, but they don't. I mean, I'm not going to them anymore, so it doesn't matter. I'm not currently getting sinus surgery, but every time I'm like, hey, lidocaine doesn't work on me, they're like, oh, we'll just use extra, and I'm like, no, you're not listening. It doesn't work on me. And they never listen. And then every time, when I'm sitting there and it's clear that I can feel everything.
Doctors are stupid assholes.
A lot of them are. Because they get taught on books that teach them this stuff, too. Like, there's so many outdated medical books. But it's like, they're trained to, like, not listen to people who are like, hey, that pain med isn't strong enough, because they're like, oh, they're just trying to get drugs. I'm like, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't even smoke. I specifically told you, like, opioids don't do anything. I didn't want them because they're ineffective. I mean, for my upcoming surgery, I'm going to be fully knocked out. I'm going to go to a surgery center and I'm gonna be put under. But, like, for that one, like, there's no other choice. Like, that's, like, just standard practice. You're always put under. But no, for my sinus surgery, they're like, it's a pretty minor surgery, so you'll come in, you'll take these 2 meds before, and then we'll do lidocaine, and I was like, oh, okay. Lidocaine doesn't work on me. I have told you this before, actually, because I tried to do, like, the scope thing down my nose through my throat, and they used lidocaine to, like, numb up my nostrils. And it was painful because I told them lidocaine didn't work. Not only did I tell them lidocaine didn't work, a lot of doctors say, oh, we'll just use more, or they do the stupidest thing, and they say, oh, we'll just leave it to really give it time to take effect. Like, no, it takes effect immediately for me. It wears off in 5 minutes, but they don't listen. And then they come back 15 minutes later, and they're confused as to why didn't it work. Maybe because I told you it wouldn't fucking work. What is that? That's fucking crazy. They're like, I wonder why the lidocaine didn't work. And I'm like, maybe because I told you it doesn't work on me. And also that if you're going to use it, you have to do whatever you are doing immediately if you want to get literally any effect out of it. That's the same thing with EDS. There's a lot of doctors who are like, that's not a real thing. They're like, oh, we're saying this isn't a real thing. And I'm like, would you like to explain how I can, like, sublux my hip in my sleep then? Is that just a normal thing for 20-year-old people to experience? See, versus I got put on like Ritalin for ADHD and like that type of strong shit like almost immediately. And then it made me lose my appetite and I was forced to keep taking it for years. I didn't hit puberty until I was 14 because I was so underweight. But they kept me on the medicine. They're like, well, clearly nothing's wrong. And I'm like, my, like, primary care doctor, like, my pediatrician, never once said there was anything wrong with me being 90 pounds. At one point, I was literally, like, 70 pounds, and you could see, like, all my bones. And they never said anything was wrong about that. But the minute I started gaining weight, because I finally got my period when I was 14 and I started hitting puberty, the minute I started gaining any weight, they were like, you're getting weight awful fast. I'm like, gaining weight awful fast? I'm 110 and I was 90 pounds before. What the fuck are you saying? I'm like, I'm sorry, are you worried about me being overweight when I'm 110 pounds? Are you fucking serious? Like, damn, bitch, no wonder I got an eating disorder, because you could see my ribs and my spine for so much of my life, and doctors never told me it was wrong. But the minute I started gaining any weight at a normal rate because I hit puberty, they started being concerned. Like, they were never once concerned that I didn't get my period, that I was underweight, that I was still, like, under 5 foot in middle school. Like, they were never concerned that I didn't gain weight, that I didn't grow in height. They were never concerned that I'd never hit my period. Like, they were never concerned about any of that. But they were concerned when, ooh, you gained 20 pounds in, like, 6 months. That seems kind of bad. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, honestly, rot in hell. People are like, how do so many people get eating disorders? Just eat. I'm like, maybe because of, like, all of society. And also, doctors sometimes don't tell you when you're too skinny that it's bad. But they will tell you when you start gaining weight. Like, you're gaining an awful lot of weight. And it's like, my BMI was still, like, 18. My BMI was 18 and my doctor was concerned about me gaining weight. My BMI was still underweight. And they're like, you should watch what you're eating because you're gaining a lot of weight really fast. Like, what? I'm also jealous of that, like, a little bit, because I have an eating disorder. But also, it is a thing of, like, people, like, make fun of you, especially if you're a guy, for being skinny. If you're a guy and you're skinny and you just have the metabolism of, like, a fucking furnace, that's awful, because people are like, haha, you skinny ass twig. And it's like, you should just be like, eat more and go to the gym. And it's like, that doesn't change anything. It's like, I've been going to the gym and I am still a twig. It's like, it hasn't made a difference. I'm like, when you're a girl, you don't get, like, told you're too skinny as often, unless you just also, like, don't have boobs. But, like, as a guy, you get told you're too skinny all the time. And then people, like, pressure you into eating more to gain weight. And then when you turn, like, 40 and your metabolism, like, tanks, because that's what happens to guys when they turn 40, all of a sudden people, expect you to immediately be able to change how much you've been, like, told you need to eat for, like, forever to be socially acceptable. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, now you're eating too much and you're gaining too much weight. And it's like, but you told me that I needed to eat a shit ton to bulk up for my entire life, and now my metabolism took a dive, and you're expecting me to, in, like, one day, be able to change how I eat. That's not how that works. Oh, the finish your plate, yeah. See, I never had to unlearn that because I was so fucking stubborn. Literally, Halloween is my favorite holiday. When I was a kid, I was told that I had to take like 2 more bites off my plate or like finish my plate if I wanted to go trick-or-treating, and that I couldn't get up from the table until I was done eating. I sat there through trick-or-treating for like 3 hours until they made me go to bed because I was like, no, I don't like this food and I don't want to eat it. It makes me gag to eat it. I'm not doing that. And I sat there for 3 hours because I was like, I'm not doing it. Like, I need to sit at the table, like, for this until I finish? Fine. I will sit at the table until the next morning. I don't care. Don't starve yourself, baby boy. That's very bad for you. I was autistic, and, like, one of my parents was very much like no, you have to eat what I make you, and one of them wasn't. But I was like, no. Not gonna do that. Oh, unintentionally. Don't do it unintentionally either. I do it intentionally. If you've been on my Twitter for a while, you know that I've posted about being anorexic. Some people don't believe me because I order like a lot of ice cream. But the thing is, I will have like 1 meal a day and it'll be a bowl of ice cream and that's it. There's a term, it's not a medical term, but there's a term called orthorexic, which means you're obsessed with only eating healthy foods. And there's a term that the community made up because we got tired of people being like, if you eat any junk food, you don't have an eating disorder, stop, like, complaining. It's called junkorexic, and it's people who are anorexic and severely limit how much they eat and exercise a lot, but eat, like, basically only junk food. They just don't eat enough of it. You know what the weird thing is? You'd think that people with eating disorders, it would be easy for them to just, like, binge watch a show or play video games all day without getting hungry. It's not, because once you have the mindset of that, like, even if your entire life is avoiding food, your entire, like, all your thoughts are still dedicated to food. 24/7, that's all you're thinking about. So it becomes really hard to, like, not get hungry or, like, not notice that you're hungry. Because it's all you think about. Because when you're not hungry, you think about how you should be feeling hungry, because that's when you're burning the most calories. By the way, this is also why I hate a lot of, like, people who are like, you have to be vegan if you love the planet. Like, not being vegan is, like, a terrible thing. I'm like, some people medically can't. And they're like, but they don't accept medically can't. They don't include eating disorders in that. They're like, no, you literally have to be, like, allergic to enough foods where you can't be completely vegan. And I'm like, no. Like, in eating disorder therapy, you are basically taught you cannot be vegan. You can try and be vegetarian, but it's still risky. Being vegan has way too many restrictions where it will just make you go back into having an eating disorder, essentially. I mean, I think... yeah. That's, like, such a common, like, thing. Like, that's bulimia, babes, wandering panda. That's just what that is. I don't know if she'll be open, but sometimes they are. Yeah, exactly. Like, I am completely fine with people who are vegan and are like, I'm doing it for the environment, I'm doing it because they don't treat animals well. That's great. You're completely right. It's better for the environment. Like, that's great. But there are some people who, they're not, it feels like they're not, the main reason they're vegan is not because it's better for animals or it's better for the planet, it's so they can feel better than people. Like, that is like, there's just a mentality with some people where it's like, you can tell that, like, yeah, they're right when they say it's better for the environment, but you can also just tell that they also just want to feel better than people. They want to be able to be like, well, I'm vegan and you're not, and what I'm doing is good for the environment and you're terrible. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 3 more things. And it's like, they're just being vegan so they can say that they're better than other people, and it's like really obvious. Exactly. Because like the people who are vegan because they actually care about the environment and like about animal like health and stuff will not yell at you that like will not like scream at you that like it doesn't matter, or like having an eating disorder doesn't count as having a medical condition that keeps you from being vegan. You're just a terrible person. Or like, what do you mean being vegan isn't more expensive, even though it is? Yeah, I'm like, everyone does what they can, and there are tons of vegans who are like, there are people who are like, I think the funniest thing I ever saw was Randy Feltface was like, at first I started being vegan because of the environmental effects and how much like cows specifically, how much greenhouse gas it produces, how much water it takes and pollutes, how much like like cattle farming is like, I think it's like #1 in greenhouse gases, deforestation, and water resource consumption. They were like, I started being vegan for environmental reasons, and now I just do it to piss people off at dinner parties. Like, no, I can't eat that, can't eat that, stop having fun, everyone! That's hilarious. Like, that is the attitude of someone who is vegan for their own reasons and does not actually judge people if you're not. Like, that's hilarious to just be like, now the main fun part of it is that it pisses people off. They're like, sorry, I can't eat that, I can't eat that, you have to bring something different. He's like, it's me and people who are allergic to shit, just the worst people to invite to dinner parties. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Yeah, exactly. You meet like a chill vegan who's like, first of all, most of the time on their like social media, it will not say vegan as the first fucking word. It'll just be something like that you find out later. Like, it's just something that you find out later, like you're out to dinner with them, and you're like, oh, like, what do you want? And it's like, oh, we should go to this place, it's really good. And they look at the menu and they're like, oh, they don't have any vegan options. And you're like, oh, I didn't realize you were vegan. And they're like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Exactly. A lot of like the like uppity ones will just like, you go to their Instagram or something, it's the first thing in their description of their bio, just vegan. And it's like so obnoxious. And it's just like, oh my god. No, 50. This is the strat, by the way. You bet half on green, and then you just keep doing that forever. Because it 75% of the time it lands on green. So that would be 1125. And then, you know, you just hope you don't get unlucky and land on orange twice in a row. Yeah, they won't be like, ugh, did you just offer me milk? You like, ugh. Polite vegans or vegetarians will just be like, oh, I don't eat that, sorry. And you're just like, oh, okay, my bad. Somebody else will be like, oh, you still drink milk? Like, don't you know how bad for that? Don't you know how, like, bad for that, for you that is? And it's like, Jesus, man, I just want to drink my fucking milk. Yeah. I had an argument with someone online who was one of those vegans, and I was like, what about people who live in fucking food deserts? Or, like, don't have enough money to afford, like, almond milk or, like, milk alternatives. And, like, they don't live in an area where they can buy alternatives to animal products. They deadass sent me a link showing, like, well, this is how much almond milk on Amazon costs, and it's way cheaper than normal milk. And I'm like, Bitch, you're out here talking about how bad not being vegan is for the planet, and you send me a goddamn Amazon link? Like, checkmate, bitch. Like, you just lost. Sorry. Like, Amazon is destroying the environment. It's terrible to its workers. Like, they've literally had worker deaths in their warehouses. And also, almond milk is the first alternative you turn to. Farming almonds has been proven to be terrible for the environment. Like, you just went on a tirade about how you're killing the planet if you personally are killing the planet if you're not vegan, and you're suggesting for people who don't have easy access to like animal product alternatives is Amazon, the company that is killing the planet and also is killing their workers. I'm like, I'm sorry, so does animal cruelty the only thing that exists in your fucking world? Does human cruelty not matter to you? Because I was like, okay. Because they were like, there's no cruelty in a head of lettuce. I'm like, let me prove you wrong for a minute. Even in the US, there is problems with slave labor on farms. Literal slave labor. There was a case where a farmer sold an immigrant farmer worker to another farm in Florida on like the other side of the country. They will hold their passports and their working visas ransom. So if they do anything to piss the farmer off, they're just like, you're fired, go back to Mexico. There's child labor in a lot of farming. They get paid nothing, and then they get forced to live in really shitty housing on the farm that is deducted from their paycheck. So they can't save up enough to move to a better place to live, and they're forced to live in this shitty place, and they're forced to keep working on the farm. Like, they're like, they literally said, like, there's no cruelty in, like, your vegetables. I'm like, yes, there is, but it's human cruelty. And, like, the amount of the vegan to racist pipeline is crazy. Like, they care about animals, but then as soon as you bring up, like, the racist labor that probably, like, the racism and, like, the slave labor that went into making their salad, they're like, that doesn't matter. And it's like, yes, it does. I'm like, humans are animals. And by doing this, you are engaging in animal cruelty. Yes. And the vegan teacher was also racist. Like, a lot of, like, the really, like, loud, like, whatever, like, vegans that are like, I'm better than you, are super fucking racist. And it makes sense because they think they're better than you and that they, like, only eat foods that have no cruelty, and it's because they don't consider the working conditions that most immigrant farmers are living in as cruel, because they are racist. It's, like, so transparent. That, like, they only do it because they care about being better than you, and they do not care about other humans at all. Yeah. Plants don't feel pain. You know who does feel pain? The immigrant child who was picking your lettuce this morning. And who aren't allowed to take a break. There's literally someone who, like, works in a field when it's, like, hot out, and they're working for, like, 8 hours straight on their feet, and they're, like, there's, like, water trucks for water where you can fill stuff up, but, like, some people are like, I can't find it. There's literally a farmer who was like, you can see, like, the pesticides over there, and he was like, the pesticide spraying feels good and refreshing because it's so hot out. Like, hello? Like, yeah, the plant itself may not feel pain. The worker who harvested it probably did. But you never talk about that. Because that would make you seem like a bad person. Because in your mindset, if anything has any amount of, like, cruelty or anything bad in its production, and you partake in it, you are a bad person. Yeah, seriously. I'm like, you people just cannot make up your mind about whether cruelty is good or bad. And it's like, keep in mind, most people who eat meat do not like the way the meat farming or the animal, like product industry works. We don't like how it works. We don't like how cows are treated. We don't like how chickens are treated. We don't like how pigs are treated. We don't like the effects on the environment. And it's something we try to be aware of, and we try to make substitutes where we can, but not all of us have the option. Some people have to choose between, am I going to be vegan, and starve to death, or am I going to eat meat? And guess what they're going to choose? They're not going to be like, oh, I'll just, I'll starve to death because eating meat and animal products is, the worst thing possible. No. Yeah. They'll be like, you know that cow is, murdered, right? And that, first of all, they'll pretend, people who eat meat doesn't know the conditions that they live in. And someone was like, whenever I see someone eating meat and they're I'm like, I know that they think that they got their meat from an ethical source, but they didn't. So I, force them to watch videos of cows being tortured on farms. And it's like, what the fuck? First of all, most of us know. And we're trying not to think about it. Second of all, next time I see you eating a salad, I am playing you a video of the child farm workers who probably harvested it. If you're gonna be a bitch, I'm gonna treat you like a bitch. But then they get mad because they're like, don't shame me for what I'm eating. I'm like, you're shaming everyone else for what they're eating. You 100% deserve this. I'm like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Because anytime, someone is, that, obnoxious about something, there is always something you can hit them with by playing by their own rules. There's, every single time, there is something you can do to them that is equal, that they will get mad about. And it's like, what? I thought this was okay. By your standards, this is fine. This is the standard that you set up. I am just following your rules. Exactly, that too. It's like, I am not going to take personal fucking blame for the world dying when I do my best to live eco-friendly with what I can do, while there are companies who could have stopped this from happening. I think, ExxonMobil had scientists research, and they knew that global warming was going to happen and that the exact consequences of their business in the 70s, they knew it was going to happen, and they did it anyway. It's I'm not going to accept someone pushing all the blame on me when realistically, there's not much that I can do. I can make, little impacts where I can, but until we start holding companies responsible, we're screwed. Because it's at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do if these massive companies are dumping oil into the ocean. Sell me a rabbit. I mean, I just in general don't like anyone who immediately thinks they're better than someone. Just no. Also, this is a bunny, so we're naming it Dust. That's not up for negotiation. I'm sure, I think I'm better than people who are chill with a genocide happening, but I don't make that my entire goddamn personality. Some people find one thing that they think makes them better than everyone else, and that becomes their entire personality. And I'm that kind of makes you a pathetic person, which is not what you want to hear. But it's true. If you have latched on to one thing making you better than everyone else, you are a pathetic person. But they don't want to hear that. They'll be like eating from their vegan company. It's like, hey, your vegan company has supported Israel in the genocide of Palestinian people. And they just want to ignore that. And I'm like, that doesn't make you better than people who eat meat. Because a lot of people who eat meat and animal products are at least aware. They are aware of the farming practices. They are aware that their money is making a negative impact. But you guys want to pretend like it's like them knowing it is still makes them a bad person. It's like at least they are conscious of what they are impacting. Yeah, it makes you a bad person, not a good person. I will never understand like people who just inherently think they're better than other people, because I could never think like that. But like, they support companies that are terrible and like treat human workers terribly, but they don't want to hear it. And it's like, at least when I eat like my cheese, I'm like, I know that this was probably produced in a facility that is not taking good care of the environment, which is why I limit my intake of it. Or like, I buy like organic, like free range, like non-cruelty free eggs because I am privileged enough to be able to afford that. So that's what I do. I can't cut eggs entirely out of my diet because they're like one of the only sources of protein I can actually eat. But I do my best, but that's not good enough for them. They're like, no, even if the eggs come from chickens that are living on massive farms and are free range and get to walk around like hundreds of acres, they're like, that's not good enough. And I'm like, the problem is, if everyone around you became vegan, they would create a new label that makes them better. They would create something different. They would be like, oh, well, I'm vegan and I also don't eat any nuts because they're bad for the environment. They would just keep making more labels that would make them feel better than everyone else. Also, I'm doing alright. I have medical appointments, like a lot of them coming up that I'm not looking forward to, but you know, right now I'm doing fine. Oh good, only 4 ads this time. Ugh. It's like YouTube. Now like YouTube is playing like 2 unskippable ads, like at least per video. Like I've been watching some videos and it's like ads at the beginning, 3 ads in the middle, 2 ads at the end of the video. I eat almonds occasionally. Or like pecans. But like, I'm just saying, like, if like the really obnoxious stuck-up vegans got what they want and everyone tomorrow turned vegan, they would somehow find some new label that made them better than everyone else. Like, it's true. They would be like, oh, I actually only eat, like, free food from farmers markets that farmers can't sell. Like, I only shop from Misfit Markets, so I am better than you because I only shop from places that are reducing food waste. It's on my phone, though. There's no way to block it on my phone without, like, getting another app that takes up a bunch of gigabytes, which my phone is already really full. But yeah, it's like people like that, they think they want everyone to be vegan. They don't, because then they'd have no one to, like, be above. I'm like, I hope that they're starting to do research into making like synthetic meat where it has like the taste and like the protein structure of all that, and they're starting to like try to figure out how to 3D print meat. I hope that they do, because that would be amazing for the environment. Yeah, they'd have no one to lord over. Exactly. They'd just turn into something new where they're like, oh, well, I'm vegan and I also only eat like bruised fruit and vegetables and like the ones that like grow weird and stuff, because those always end up in landfills. And if you're not doing the same thing, then you're a bad person. And it's like, eventually it would get to the point where if we all just kept doing what they said, it would get to the point where they would be starving themselves just so they could be better than us. They're like, oh, my diet is actually, I only eat once a week and I donate like 90% of my groceries to the homeless shelters, so I'm better than you. And it's like, okay, see you at your funeral. Yeah, I'm very conflicted about the freegan stuff, because at one point it is like taking food that would just rot in landfills and removing it, but also it's kind of making like being poor and homeless like a trend, like a trendy little fad thing, like, oh, I'm a freegan. Like, girl. It's like those rich people who like pretend to work at Walmart for a day. They're like, oh my god, I'm gonna work at this ice cream shop for a week. I'm gonna, like, it's role-playing being poor. And then they're like, I don't get why people were so, like, mad. Like, I don't get why, like, poor people, like, complain about it so much. It was so much fun. And it's like, well, obviously it was great for you. You never had a customer yell at you, and you never had your manager, like, tell you you have to come in earlier or do overtime. Because, like, everyone loves you. So obviously the fans that come to visit where you work aren't gonna yell at you, and the manager isn't gonna piss you off, because then you're gonna like try and tank their business. So it's like, it's not the same thing. Meat smoothie. That sounds terrible. Yeah, I mean that. I don't agree with that, like, as an actual option to save the planet, but it would save the planet. The problem is what would be the most efficient way to kill all of humanity? It would probably be nukes, and that would destroy the planet, so it is kind of a thing of like, well, how do you actually end up killing all of humanity, though, to save the planet? You can't just throw them all in the ocean, because having like billions of rotting bodies in the ocean would be bad for the environment as well. Maybe Thanos had a point. He did, like, a little bit. Like, that's why, like, he's kind of a good villain, because most of the good villains that aren't just like fun, goofy villains have a little bit of a point. Like, there is a reason that Magneto and Poison Ivy have slowly become heroes, because it's becoming harder and harder to not say they have a fucking point. Like, Magneto's point of, like, the powerful people are racist and are causing, like, different people to be poor and ostracized became a whole lot less harder to see as a villainous thing after, like, Ronald Reagan's era of, like, politics and, like, economics. Poison Ivy's goal of, like, killing a bunch of, like, rich people who are polluting the world is a lot harder to be against now. 'Cause we're kind of, like, on her side. We're kind of just like, yeah, girl, kill all the evil, murder every single person who runs the evil corporations and the politicians who keep, like, letting oil companies, like, kill the earth. Like, do it. Like, fuck it. Like, you know what? You can't make her a villain anymore because it's too hard to not say, like, you know, she's kind of right, though. Same with Magneto, who's kind of just like, look, I'm gonna, like, take all these people and we're gonna leave and we're gonna make our own place, and if anyone tries to, like, come and conquer this area, we're just gonna kill them. Like, I don't know, man, he's got a point a little bit. Like, if every Native American Like, if every Native American in America said, fuck it, we're taking over Alaska, and if anyone comes over here and tries to take it away after they, like, stole all our land in the first place, we're killing them, I'd kind of be on their side. I'd be like, I mean, that's violent, and it displaces a lot of people in Alaska that live there, but also, I don't know, man, they got a bit of a point. And it's like, yeah, and it's like, it's always so funny to me, like, there's a comedian who is Chinese, but she was born in Australia, so she's Australian, and somebody said, just because you're a citizen doesn't make you Australian, and her response to that was just cunt. Like, doesn't get more Australian than that. But, but like, my response would have been like, just because white people stole this land for you 200 years ago doesn't make you Australian. Because, like, let's be honest, if someone is being that racist, there's about a 0% chance they're native to the country. That they're actually native Australians. Yeah, they turned Red Hood and, like, Deadpool into anti-heroes, and, like, Venom. Well, I guess Deadpool was always an anti-hero, but it's like, Venom and Red Hood slowly got turned into anti-heroes because people thought they were hot and just wanted to make them heroes, so they didn't feel conflicted about liking them. But Poison Ivy and Magneto, like, they're turning into heroes more and more just because we're looking at society and being like, shit, they have a point. Well, Harley Quinn, I feel like it was also just, like, she was a villain because she was mentally and emotionally manipulated into being it. So people were kind of like, hey, wouldn't it be kind of great if she actually decided to have her own, like, person? Like, if she decided to be her own person and her entire life didn't revolve around a terrible, terrible man. So, like, it is partially because Harley Quinn is hot, but it's also because a lot of people are like, hey, wouldn't it be kind of great if she, like, had her own say in her life and got to choose what she wanted to do? Instead of just being, like, led around on a leash by an emotionally manipulative piece of shit. Like, I'm still horrified at the fact that we saw Harley Quinn and Joker and said, let's make a bunch of cute couple merch of those two. Like, oh my god, we're Harley Quinn and the Joker for Halloween, how cute. No, that is horribly concerning, woman. It is not cute. And also, like, Harley Quinn and Ivy getting together has been a thing for a long time, so I'm not surprised that that is what the comics are mainly shifting to. People are starting to get tired of sympathetic Joker because we all know how terrible he is. Exactly. What if we actually gave her a personality and realized, hey, it's fucked up what she went through. And it worked. Like, it always bothered me that there was always, like, couples merch that was Harley Quinn and the Joker. It's like, no. That's bad. Like, she was emotionally manipulated into being here. Absolutely not. I'm like, I do not trust any couples that have a Harley Quinn and Joker, like, stuff. I'm like, nope. I'm like, I do not trust that you have a healthy relationship. I'm sorry, but it's true. Because it's like, there are villain couples out there that are cool. They're not one of them. Because, I'm sorry, it's not like a whole, like, they'll never take us alive fantasy. Joker has multiple times just thrown her in front of the heroes and said, take her instead, like, shoot her. Like they are not partners in crime. Like a lot of people say like, "Oh, they're partners in crime." No, they're not. Harley Quinn is a human shield. But manipulative relationships need representation too. Not in the way that the pop culture was doing it. Like, yeah, showing that like people can be in manipulative relationships and how harmful that is important. But the media was not making it seem like that was a bad thing. And that was a problem. Everyone mouthing this watch the article. Yeah. I've heard it's really good, but I don't have a streaming service where I can watch it, so. But yeah, that was like a thing. That's just a thing. Like, it's not showing up as much, the Harley Quinn and Joker stuff, but that used to be a huge thing. And it was always weird for me. Yeah, and Harley Quinn and Ivy wins easily. Because Ivy and Harley Quinn are partners in crime. Harley Quinn is just another minion to the Joker, and we all know it. He does not see her as anything actually valuable or special. He is just stringing her along. Like, see, there are literally so many times in the animation, the comic books, where, like, Batman or whatever shows up, and he just pushes her out in front and books it. Oh good, we have enough corn now. Guys, we get the greenhouse! Yes! So exciting. And we have enough to upgrade the house. Oh my god, so much fucking progress is being made on this day. This is so exciting. Let's go donate this corn and then we'll upgrade the house. Also talk to Sebastian when we go to upgrade the house. It's either Evil Count with the Batfisher or Hot Plant Woman. Guess which is gonna win? Like you know who had it right? You know who had the relationships right? The Lego Batman movie. The Lego Batman movie had the relationship that the Joker and Batman has spot on. That is the correct version. And you should also look up, there's a video about the Lego Batman movie and like gay representation, and it talks about the history of comic books as well and how it actually makes sense with the history of comic books. You should watch it. It's really good. Every great man like the Joker needs a fall guy or girl in her. Exactly. Like she's not his girlfriend. She is a fall guy. Ah, Junimo, hi. Little guy. Yes, bring me the extra star. Hee hee hee. We get the greenhouse, and I already have 2 ancient seeds to start with. I don't think I have enough for a seed maker yet, but we will get there. Yeah, like the Lego Batman movie had that shit 100% right. That is how it should be. Like Harley Quinn was there, and I'm gonna be honest, I think she called him like one of the nicknames, but it was Arm Candy, a bodyguard, and nothing else. The thing is that's kind of what she was in the Lego Batman movie, but the Joker didn't fucking hate her. Like, the Joker didn't use her as a human sacrifice. She was just there to, like, help him. Like, she was a right-hand man. In a lot of the comments, yes. But, like, in the Lego Batman movie, that bitch was just a right-hand man. Like, that's it. Like, it was not really implied that much in the Lego Batman movie that there was a relationship there. The relationship was Joker and Batman. That's the relationship they focused on, and that's the one that they should focus on. Because that's the best kind. That is the best relationship in Batman and in Batman. It just period. The relationship between Joker and Batman is the main one. And it's gay as hell. And if you think it's not, you're ignoring a lot of comic book history. Because Batman was not always the, like, billionaire fuckboy. He really wasn't. He used to wear a blue spandex suit. That's gay as fuck, and it's great. But then the whole comic book regulation thing in like the 70s happened, and all of a sudden gay stuff was not allowed anymore, so they made him all brooding and edgy. But, like, Batman was not always brooding and edgy. In fact, he kind of had moments of being, like, kind of queer. But then, like, they were like, oh no, you can't have gay stuff in comic books, that's immoral, so they banned it. And then they put all the gay stuff on the Joker because they were like, well, we can get away with it if it's the villain. Like, Joker one time literally, like, created a tunnel of love to fight Batman in. It wasn't just what was around or available. He made it. He set it up. He chose for it to be a tunnel of love. The Joker is gay-coded as hell. But people on Reddit don't like to pay attention to that fact. But I'm telling you, it's in the history of the comic. I've watched an entire video on it, even though I am not a big comic book or DC fan. I watched it anyway, and it was very interesting. Do it for the bit, do it for the dick. I'm like, look, Heath Ledger was an amazing actor, but I'm like, and he had an amazing role as Joker, but I'm also kind of like, you know, in the wake of shit, I kind of wish he didn't. Like, like, you know what? In retrospective, maybe it would have been better if that didn't happen. Alright, so we need to do more fishing, because now what we mainly need is money. The rest of the stuff we are just going to get through, like this is gonna be in winter, obviously. We need to cook that in the house. We're gonna get that soon. That mainly shows up in winter. We are making wine right now. We need a pomegranate from the cave, and we can also plant a pomegranate tree in the greenhouse just to be safe. That we are going to get soon from the rabbit. We already looked at that. We need this from the secret woods, which we can get at any time, basically. I can go at it now, actually. The sandfish is in the desert, and to get to the desert, we need to do the vault bundle. So that is what we're gonna do. We're getting very close to finishing the community center. And also getting very close to being able to marry Sebastian. Which I will also hopefully do year 1, but I will need a rain totem to do it. Which I think you unlock the crafting for at some point. Because I think that's how I did it in my OG file that I did this on. At foraging level 9. We should be able to get that fairly easily, especially when I start growing winter seeds. But yeah, it's pretty easy to make. You just need pine tar, truffle oil, and hardwood. Alrighty. Let's go get our wood skip. Also, I love look at all the jack-o'-lanterns that are out for All Spirits Eve. As it's called. But we now officially do not have to upgrade anything. Prish, you're here. Hello. We have officially upgraded everything that we need to do. Now we just need to make money just to give to the community center. Oh, I forgot there's slimes in here. That's fine. They shouldn't be able to do enough damage to cause that much problem. Also, this song, the Secret Woods song, also phenomenal. This is also a song I will listen to. Catch ourselves a wood skip. Which should be what this is, because I don't think you can catch much else in here. Yep, there we go. I don't know how much these sell for, so we could actually just catch a bunch of them if we really want. I really wish there was a place like the Secret Woods. I know! I've been streaming for about 3 hours. But I've just been really enjoying, like, we've been talking about a lot of really interesting stuff. By the way, I'm glad that everyone here, like, puts up with the fact that I talk about, like, some kind of deep topics. Oh, that's right, you can catch these, wall baskets in here. I wish a place like these existed in real life, though. Like, I wish so bad that I lived in, like a night in the woods type town, or, like, if there was, like, a wooded forest area with, like, a canopy of trees like this. I would move in. I would just live there. 'Cause holy shit, it's so amazing. There are some times where if I'm on, like, a older Stardew Valley file where I don't have to do anything because I'm on, like, year 7 or whatever, I will just go into the Secret Woods and, like, sit there. Like, I kind of want to see if I can make, like, a screensaver of, like, the Secret Woods, like, in fall, like, with the leaves. Because I think that would be a really amazing screensaver during, like, Halloween season. Stories and rambling is what... Exactly. Come for the Stardew and the stupid jokes. Stay for me talking about the social economics and the interest and of veganism and why people who think they're better at you for being better than you for being vegan are stupid. Because, like, I know a lot about a lot of things, and it's mainly because I see one person being a fucking asshole to a bunch of people and acting like they're better than them, so I find a way to take them down a peg. And yeah, that's just you. I was literally talking to my friend, I'm like, I've gotten, like 4 gifts off of my Twitch gift list, it's crazy, and I'm like, I don't know who does it either, I think it's someone who's, like, literally not subbed. And I'm like, unless it's Prish and they've been lying to me and they're the ones doing it. Because it could be. I was like, it could have been Prish doing it and they're just lying. Because that's something they would do. I don't have that kind of money. Fair enough. But you could be lying right now. Consider. If ever wins the lottery, they're just gonna bully me with money and make me feel bad. I'm just gonna be like, I'm not entertaining enough for people to pay for this. And they're gonna be like, feel worse. Oh yeah, the shipping costs are ridiculous. I really wish it wasn't. But every other single, like, gifting site that has, like, more reasonable shipping prices, it doesn't ship it for you. It, like, gives you the money to spend the gift on, and that has, like, weird tax implications. It makes taxes a lot, like, harder. So I would basically have to raise the prices on anything I put on my wish list by, like, 20%, so I could put the extra 20% into taxes. The only way I could get away with it is if someone, like, cash apped me the money for a gift. Because then it's like it's not under gifting law, but when it's from that site, it makes it really hard to, like, show someone from the IRS if they audit you to be like, look, this is specifically for a gift. But when it's like, it gets complicated when they just give you money instead. Like Cash App, you can kind of get away with it. Like it's not as clear for the money you make on Cash App. You can just choose not to report the $30 someone gave you to get lunch or get a gift or something. And like the IRS probably isn't gonna do anything if it was like a $20 gift. They're gonna be like, oh no, you owe us $3, so like how terrible. But like, if it's like a regular gift list where like people are regularly doing it and I regularly have to cash out money and then report that as income, it becomes like a little bit more complicated and really annoying. So it's like, at the end of the day, the extra shipping costs on Throne is still less than I would have to charge people by using something else. I wouldn't send random people money. Well, for some things, people prefer to pay through Cash App because they're like, because it'll be like a lot of money for like, I'll do like boyfriend experiences where like they get my personal Discord for a week and I talk to them like all day and stuff. And because that is $50, if they tip it through Fansly takes 20%, which is a pretty like big chunk. So some people prefer to use Cash App through that so that I actually get all of the money. Some people can't use Cash App because they're like, yeah, you know, it's not allowed in my region. But some people, Cash App is easier for them. Some people, it's just that they don't want to be giving Fansly 20% of $50, which is like $10. They're like, I want you to get all that money. So it just depends. However people want to pay me or whatever is easiest for them, I'm fine with, but I do appreciate on the larger things, on the larger amounts of money when they pay through Cash App, because Fansly takes 20%. And if I'm doing like an $100 custom video, I don't really want Fansly taking $20 of that. I would be paid in rocks. Like nice, like shiny, like polished rocks. I would be paid in that. Because I am, like, kind of a goblin creature. Someone joked that, like... Because I was joking that they're, like, the goddess of fall or whatever. And they were like, you're, like, the god of crows or something. Then, like, you're the god of, like, all the scrungly animals. Like, your domain rules over, like, raccoons and magpies and... Could I paint it? They wouldn't do much for me, unfortunately. I'm asexual. So, most of the time I'm like, cool, if you check my Twitter comments on people who are mutuals, who I like and comment on their stuff because I want to help their job. God of trash mammals. Exactly. That's me. And just trash animals in general, because, you know, are birds mammals? No, birds aren't mammals. Because I'm also the god of, like, crows and, like, magpies. And, like, you know, pigeons. Like, I'm the god of all, like, the trashy, like, forest animals. That's what I'm the god of. And I'm like, yes, that is me. Birds are birds. Yeah, look, I didn't want to say that they're not mammals on stream and then look like an idiot. Given that I am a big animal lover, someone would have been like, haha, moron, birds are mammals. We were, and then I started talking about birds. I can make anything loop back to birds. God, I am nowhere close to becoming a god of femboys. I'm pretty sure that's like Jazzaberry. Or like Rainbow Femboy. Like Femboy Gaming. I am not even close. Or like, birds are mammals the way fish are lizards looks close, but no. Or like, who's that one streamer who's like a very famous femboy who then transitioned into doing not safe for work stuff? Femboy Gaming are like the angel and devil of femboys. Yeah. Finn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got that title. I am nowhere close to being a god of femboys. keep forgetting there's this button. I need to remember to use it. I'm gonna put these in there. I was gonna use my prize ticket today. Shoot. Hi, kitty. Yeah, I think Finster is, claims that title pretty handedly. Raccoon! Oh, that's right! He, like, lives in the greenhouse and he moves into a tree. I'd let him stay in my greenhouse. I wish there was an option to let him stay in there. I would have let him live there. I love raccoons. I used to have usernames on stuff that was like raccoon based. Alright. I think I'm actually gonna end there. I've been streaming for about 3.5 hours, which I think is the longest time that I've streamed. My voice is starting to take a hit. Yes, he does. I'm pretty sure he does. I think they literally, like, when they made one before they even posted content, they had already made, like, $2,000. Something crazy like that. No, he has one. They made one. At some point. Yeah, they hit 1% really fast. Uh-huh. They literally made a post where they were talking about how they made one, and then they checked it live on stream before they had even made any content, and they had made like $2,000. Before they even had content out. The battle pass. Have a good night, everyone, or whatever time zone you're in. I have no idea. I'm gonna go give my throat a good rest, cause like I can feel it in my everything. The only content creator I remember is Markiplier. Alright, bye everyone!